Good evening, boys, girls, and families. I'm really glad that we can spend this time together for Engage Cozy Moments. It's a bit of a rainy Wednesday outside there today, so it's nice to be inside warm and snuggly. I hope you have your pajamas on and your favorite blanket as we read our book together. Now, the book I have for you is a book all about Maryland, which is the state that we live in. Well, some of you may be watching from different states, actually, now I think of it, but it's the state that I live in anyway. And it's the state where Grace United Methodist Church is. And it's a glorious state, and this is a wonderful book. So I hope you enjoy it. In fact, inside this book are some ideas of things that we can do, even during this time, this pandemic time where there are lots of places that we cannot go. There are some places that we can still go. So keep an eye out in this book and you may get some ideas for some activities. This book is called B is for Blue Crab. Let's get this set up and I will lower the camera to make sure you see all the pictures. The pictures are beautiful. Move myself so I can read this beautiful book to you. There we go. A is for Annapolis. It is the government seat and our state capital where legislators meet. B is for blue crabs that swim in the Chesapeake Bay. Males are called Jimmies and females Sallys. That's what the fishermen say. C is for the Chesapeake Bay, whose sandy shores are a delight. Its waters are home to crabs and clams, while graceful birds are seen in flight. D. The Ark and the Dove were the famous ships that brought settlers to Maryland's shore. The Dove, which begins with the letter D, arrived along with the Ark in 1634. That's a long time ago. E. E is for the Eastern Shore, a place where you can play on the shores of the Atlantic or watch the sailboats on the bay. F. Fort Frederick begins with the letter F. It was built with a strong stone wall. During the French and Indian War, it provided protection for all. Wow, look at this picture, boys and girls. Isn't that stunning? Visit historic Glen Echo Park, which begins with the letter G. Take a carousel ride on an antique horse and find interesting things to do and see. I've been to Glen Echo Park so many times, I've probably ridden on every one of these. It's a beautiful place to go. Let's get this picture. There we go. H stands for historic battles, where brave soldiers led the fight during the American Civil War for what they believed was right. You can visit the famous National Aquarium at the Inner Harbor, which begins with I. See animals, birds, reptiles, and fish. and watch the sharks as they swim by. Think of knights on horses, and you've come to the letter J, which stands for a sport called jousting. It is the state sport of Maryland today. Yes, there we go. So I don't want it to shine on it. Can you see that, boys and girls? Now we come to Francis Scott Key, whose last name begins with the letter K. He wrote a poem in the midst of battle, which we sing as our national anthem today. L is for the lighthouse, which guides ships through the night. It warns them with its signal and constant beams of light. Wow, look at that. There's lots of things to see in this picture. The letter M stands for Muddy Creek Falls, which is a wondrous sight where water flows over age-old rocks from an enormous height. If you look in there, you can see a deer. Do you see that hidden deer? This is why it's such a pretty book, because there's lots of details if you look further. Oh, what do I see up here? Look. Is that a bear? It looks like it. Wow. N. N stands for the U.S. Naval Academy, where students in uniform look so grand as they train to be sailors and midshipmen and prepare to defend our homeland. A special bird brings us to O. The Oriole's colours are bright. With a black hood and a breast of orange, he is a beautiful sight. P is for Preakness. Jockeys and horses look so fine. Excitement builds and the crowd cheers as they race to the finish line. Q stands for Queen Henrietta Maria, a Queen of England so grand that a colony was named for her and it became Maryland. The letter R brings us to railroads. Trains are a faster way to go than travelling on roads and ships. So Maryland built the B&O. S is for the skipjack, which gracefully sails away to pull the dredge for oysters on the Chesapeake Bay. T is for Harriet Tubman, a hero in her time. She led black slaves to freedom on the Underground Railroad line. U is for Johnny Unitas, the greatest quarterback in his day. He won games for the Baltimore Colts and really knew how to call the play. V is for the Visionary Art Museum, where untrained artists like you and me can display their works of art for all who want to come and see. You see that? Yeah. W stands for watermen. Fishing is their trade. They dredge for oysters in the bay. That's how their living is made. X stands for X-rays, which you can get at Johns Hopkins Hospital, where medical needs are met. Y stands for Camden Yards, where the Baltimore Orioles play. Although the park is new, it looks like the olden days. And Z, or Z as you would say. Zoo begins with the letter Z. Animals who live at the Maryland Zoo include elephants, monkeys, tigers, and lions. And you can see the polar bears too. And that, boys and girls, is the end. And I just want to show you on each page, there's a bit more of a description, a lengthy description that gives you more details about each place. See this? See here? There's a bit too much for us to read today, but let's just see. Here, this is the National Aquarium, and so I read you this bit here, but you could read all about the aquarium, some details right here if you had a little bit more time to spare. Now, I am happy to lend any of these books out when we get back to Grace Church and we get back together in person. Any of the books that I've read for Engage Cozy Moments, you are more than welcome to come to my office and sign one out so you can read it in more detail at home. So, boys and girls, that comes to the end of our Engage Cozy Moments. I hope you enjoyed the book, and I hope you got some ideas on places that you can go with your families. Maybe not on such a rainy day like today. And always remember, if you would like to go back and watch any of our videos again, you can do so by going through the Grace Church website, which is www.graceumc.org. And you can click through, and so if you wanted to look at that book again and look at some of the places and get more details, you can pause it and do whatever you like. So I just wanted to let you know that. I would like to leave you all with a blessing, and I hope the rest of your week goes well. Tomorrow I am going to be replaying a video, so we won't be doing a live video tomorrow. I'm going to be replaying the video that I did yesterday on how to make your own Advent wreath at home. We are going to be doing more in future weeks for younger children also, because not everybody can do the wreaths that I did yesterday. We're going to be doing some others that involve more glue and paper and such, but I do encourage you to check out tomorrow's video on Advent Wreath DIY if you didn't catch it yesterday. So get your bodies still, boys and girls, and you can either put yourself in a pose of prayer or you can sit quietly and listen to these words. Dear Lord, use my eyes to see new friends. Open my ears to hear my teacher. Open my mind to learn new things. Let my heart remember you are near when I'm afraid. Help me to love others like you do. I want to shine your light so bright in my school, my home, and all around. Amen. Boys and girls, always a pleasure to spend time with you. I love each and every one of you. Always feel free to reach out to me, and we will be getting together soon. Cheers and good night.